Hello everybody and welcome back to another video today. I'm going to be doing the best case scenario for Donald Trump in the 2024 election. He's repeatedly, at least hinted very heavily at the fact that he'll be running again in 2024. I've made a video once before with his best case scenario in a 2024 election. I believe that was about 2.5 months ago. So, it's been a good amount of time. I decided to make another one. Before I begin this video, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are getting very, very close to 500 subscribers. Last time I checked, we were in the upper 260s or mid to upper 260s, 460s, excuse me. So we are, 30-something odd subscribers away from 500. So if you've not subscribed, please go ahead and consider subscribing. And let's get right into this video. And I must say also, before I make the prediction, I make all my predictions and all of my best case scenario things based off of the current state of the country. What does it look like at the moment? At the moment, Democrats are not looking good. It looks like we'll be heading into a red wave year. I can't project how things will be 3 years from now, so I judge it based off of how things are now. And at the moment, Donald Trump will probably do very, very good in a best case scenario. So don't be upset if you're a Democrat when you're looking at this. And you're like, oh well, how do you know that this will continue? It's based off of the current state of the country. So, if it remains like this for the next, I guess, less than 2 years now, then so it is. But if it isn't, then it's not. So just take it as you will. Safe Joe Biden states, in my mind, this will be the state of California. This will be the state of Hawaii. I think that Joe Biden will win the state of New York and Vermont by safe margins, as well as Massachusetts and Rhode Island and D.C. and Maryland. In a best case scenario, the rest would not be safe. This is 117, and you could say Joe Biden, you could say any generic Democrat. Safe Donald Trump states. This goes through the middle of the country. Not only is it going to be the usual 125 electoral votes, but I'm going to add on to Iowa, Ohio, and Maine 2nd Congressional District as safe margins. These states have, previous to election bids Trump has had gone by about 8 points, 9 points. Maine 2nd went over 10 points in 2016. And you could see in a best case scenario that increasing even more to the over 15-point threshold. So 149 safe electoral votes for Donald Trump. Likely states for Joe Biden. This would be the state of Washington. This will be the state of Illinois. Or not Joe Biden, the generic Democrat, whatever you want to say. This will be the state of Delaware in Maine's 1st Congressional District. However, the rest of the you know what? I'll also include the state of Oregon, but in my mind, the rest of the states, including Connecticut and New Jersey, could fall into that lean category you saw in New Jersey with Phil Murphy and his contender. I believe his name was Eric Chiaratelli, but frankly, he wasn't even that much of a well-known guy. It wasn't like that was a prominent race, but that came within, less than 3 points. That was about a 2-point-something win for Phil Murphy. So that could definitely narrow into the lead margin in the best possible scenario for Donald Trump. And you could argue Oregon as well, but I'll just leave it in that likely column at the moment. Likely Trump states. This will be the state of Texas. This will be the state of Florida. We'll both go by more than 5 points. Republicans are now the majority of party affiliates in the state of Florida. DeSantis, you look at those polls that he's had, and Marco Rubio as well, where he's, in some scenarios, he's been up by 20 points against his contenders, over 20 points. You could say that those are outliers. You could say, possibly he's up 10 to 12 points, and that is a likely margin to safe margin. You could even say Florida could be a safe state at this point for Ron DeSantis. However, for Donald Trump, in a general election, it's a little bit of a different landscape. I'll continue in the likely category. I also think that the state of North Carolina will go by a likely margin for Donald Trump. And you could also see a state like Wisconsin going by more than 5 points in favor of Donald Trump. You would, of course, see a massive swing in a best-case scenario, and Donald Trump is pretty popular with regards in comparison with other Republicans in the Rust Belt. And when you compare it to how other Republicans have done there, Trump is definitely better than most. So, Wisconsin, although very, very, you could consider a toss-up to tilt Democrat state at the moment, could, go into that likely category in his best-case scenario. Lean Joe Biden, or lean Democrat states. I keep saying Joe Biden just because I just feel like, whatever, that's the nominee at the moment. Connecticut, New Jersey would, of course, be lean Biden states. And I also see the state of Colorado leaning for Joe Biden, possibly 1 to 2 points in his favor. Lean Donald Trump states. Donald Trump will lean Georgia in his favor. He'll lean Nevada and Arizona in his favor. He'll lean Michigan and Pennsylvania in his favor. And he'll also manage to lean the state of New Hampshire in his favor. So getting up to 316 electoral votes, you really get into that modern-day landslide. He'll also be able to lean Nebraska second in his favor. So let's now get into our tilt states. We have New Mexico, Virginia, Minnesota, and Maine's at-large district to call. I think that Joe Biden would be able to win Maine's at-large district by a tilt margin in his best-case scenario. I think that Joe Biden would barely be able to tilt the state of New Mexico in his best-case scenario. I think that Donald Trump would be able to tilt the state of Minnesota. And when it comes down to the state of Virginia in a best-case scenario, and this is assuming that Donald Trump runs the best campaign possible, similar to what happened with Glenn Youngkin, I do think he could barely tilt the state of Virginia in his favor. We still have yet to see what that Youngkin effect has had in the state of Virginia, but when you look at Youngkin's approval at the moment, he really is, he's got a +8 approval in the state of Virginia. New poll, I think he had a 58 approval to 48 disapproval. So if that Youngkin effect, similar to the DeSantis effect, happens, and you see a slight of a shift in Virginia, and it's a best-case scenario, Donald Trump could possibly end up tilting Virginia in his favor. Now, that is probably going to be the closest, the stretchiest call I could make, but I do believe that that is possible. But anyway, in the best-case scenario for Donald Trump, I want to make that known. This is not an actual election prediction. This is the best-case scenario for Donald Trump in the 2024 presidential election. He would manage to get 340 electoral votes to a Democrat's 198. So a modern-day landslide similar to Barack Obama's victory margins against John McCain and Mitt Romney. So anyway, with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of my state calls and what you would keep and stay the same. Like the video and stay tuned for a lot more awesome videos. I'll be doing a generic Democrat versus generic Republican video this week. I'll be doing a best case scenario for Joe Biden. I'll be doing probably a prediction between Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom, which was a viewer suggestion. I can't do all the viewer suggestions because, that's just like everybody, there's just too many suggestions to do. But I do try to pick a few that interests me and I think would interest you guys. So I'll do a DeSantis versus Newsom video this week. Anyway, with that, thank you guys so much for watching this video and have a great day.